The Unpublished Letters of Sant Kirpal Singh on meditation practice. Today on Spiritual Awakening Radio. My name is James Bean of spiritualawakeningradio.com. Today I begin with a mystic poem of Sat Saheb, the spiritual master of Sant Dariya Sahib of Bihar. And then I'll share with you a few samples from a collection of unpublished letters from Sant Kirpal Singh on meditation practice. Following that will be a short discourse from Baba Somanath on Satsang, and a couple of passages from Baba Ram Singh on being a gurumukh instead of following the dictates of the mind, or being a manmukh. Welcome to Spiritual Awakening Radio. The following is from a mystic poem of Sat Saheb, a guru, a few generations back in the lineage of Sant Mat, a couple of gurus before Tulsi Sahib of Hathras. The initiating master of Dariya Sahib of Bihar. Speaking to Sant Dariya about his upcoming, at the time, mission as a spiritual master, the successor of Sat Sahib. You have been given the seal to imprint the souls, and you know that the transaction is carried on through the true name, or Sat Nam. Whosoever comes bearing the imprint of your hand, I will take him to the other shore. Priceless indeed is the name. Let one hold fast to it with proper concentration. Near such a person, Kal, the Lord of Time, shall not go. While rising or sitting, let him fix his attention upon it, and let him develop love for the divine light within. Let him abandon all deceptive worship of the gods and goddesses. Let him be absorbed in his real Lord, realizing him to be the truth. While rising and sitting, the Supreme Lord should be the center of his attention. And let him remain merged into the sound current. By taking refuge under the truth in such a way, he will certainly overcome. Kal. Says Sat Sahib, the spiritual master of Sant Dariya Sahib of Bihar, whose style of mystic poetry very much is in the tradition of the Anurag Sagar, in the Dharam Das line of Kabir, the earlier masters of the Sant Mat lineage. I'm grabbing my clipboard here of the unpublished letters of Sant Kirpal Singh on meditation practice. These haven't really been edited. They're still in a kind of raw state. Very similar to letters found in the book Spiritual Elixir, very much in the same spirit. No secrets of initiation, instructions, or the 5 names, but really good instruction on meditation practice from this fairly large collection of unpublished letters from Kirpal Singh to various people. A very beautiful, wonderful collection. I'll share a few samples today. It's a fairly large collection, so this is a document that one will have to return to and revisit again and again. Sant Kirpal Singh from Letters Concerning Meditation and Withdrawal, the Sound Current, and Meditation. Kirpal Singh. Before sitting for meditation, pray to the Master Power overhead. This will give you impetus and help. During your spiritual practices, do not wish for one thing or the other, but sit at the door within, watching intently and minutely, and do the mental repetition. The rest is for the Master to do. We are not to have any feeling of anguish, hurry, or clutching when sitting in meditation. Sit in any easy pose in which you can sit for a longer period with no tension in the body. And do not move hands, feet, or eyes. Close your physical eyes without any tension on the eyes or forehead, and fix your inner gaze on the dark veil behind and betwixt the two eyebrows, mentally, intently, and constantly. Do not turn the two physical eyes inward, but just close them as when one is going to sleep, and gaze into the middle of the darkness, the veil, as if it were lying in front of you. Let your inner gaze remain fixed without thinking of the body below or anything outside. You should also not pay any attention to the breathing going on, in the same manner that you do not pay any attention to the breathing during your outer pursuits during the day. While having your inner gaze fixed intently and peering minutely into the center of the darkness lying as if in front of you, do repetition of the 5 names mentally, but slowly. If you proceed in this manner, your inner vision will open with no physical body consciousness. Morning and evening, devote at least 1 hour each time in this way. Do it for some time and you will find progress. When doing spiritual practices, you should sit in one unflinching posture and do mental simran only, with your inner gaze fixed. Think of nothing else except simran. At the time of hearing the sound current, listen to the sound only, and do not do simran while hearing the sound. Master is at your head, and he extends help from within. Regarding any guidance and help required from without for removing difficulties in concentration, they will be most gladly given without any hitch or obligation. I will be glad if any brothers become more successful and able to withdraw from the body, see the lights, and contact the Master consciously within. This is just like having an effortless effort. You have to become the inner eye itself. Your job is only to see minutely and with a searching eye into the center of the darkness while repeating the 5 names mentally and slowly, and wait. It is for the Master within to give you results, more or less according to the background earned as a result of karmic reactions. We cannot get higher results by clutching. The very anxiety and impatience themselves stand in the way. Your part is to sit at the door behind the eyes and knock, and it shall be opened to you. Turning the page. When you see the golden swirl, please fix your gaze in the center thereof and not on the outer edges thereof. Light will sprout forth therefrom, and at times it so happens Master's face appears therein. If there are causes that stand in the way of meditation at 3 o'clock in the morning, devote time at night before going to bed, and at other times convenient soon after rising in the morning or during the day. Adopt any posture convenient, but it must be remembered that the assumed posture must be fixed and not changed, and that one is all of the time conscious and not sleeping. When you see the stars, find the big star amongst them and fix your inner gaze on that big star. Then that big star will burst and you will find your way through it. Then you will have to cross the moon. If you see the moon, just fix your gaze on it. An excerpt from another letter. A sort of trance-like stupor or similar state of consciousness is not sufficient. The Master prescribes putting in regular time with full devotion to the spiritual practices. Withdrawal of the current from the physical body inevitably follows as a result of simran, or constant repetition of the 5 names. And by fixing, at the same time, your inner gaze on the darkness just between the 2 eyebrows, as if it were in front of you, constantly, minutely, penetratingly. While doing so, you should neither be conscious of the breathing going on, nor of the withdrawal of the spirit current from the physical body. This procedure will give you definite results. Just put in some time and find the change. For this withdrawal, sit in a posture in which you can be quite relaxed and which will be convenient to you for a longer time without any tension in the body or any consciousness of the breathing or of the process of the withdrawal of the spirit current going on. Close your physical eyes and take your attention away from the physical eyes altogether, just as when you go to sleep, without any strain on the physical eyeballs, eyelids, or forehead. Fix the inner gaze, which is quite independent of the outer physical eyes, on the darkness which is betwixt and behind the 2 eyebrows, as if this darkness were in front of you, minutely and constantly, and at the same time without any anxiety or impatience to see things beyond. The reason why no marked progress is had so far is apparently due to the fact that we have not put in time in the spiritual practices accurately. If we put in time in the following manner, I hope you will have experience by the grace of the living Master, and you will see the Master face to face by and by. Sit in one posture, in any easy pose, and do not move. Your entire body should be in a still position without any tension in the body. You are breathing all the time during the day while working, but you are not conscious of the breathing going on then. During meditation, let breathing go on as freely as ever. You should pay no heed whatsoever to it. Moreover, you should look with a fixed inner gaze into the darkness just behind and betwixt the 2 eyebrows and continue looking in the center of it minutely and consciously without a break, without any tension in the physical eyes, eyebrows, or the forehead. Says Master Kirpal Singh, you should not do the work of an overseer to see how far the spirit current is withdrawn from the body. The withdrawal is the work of the Master, who is waiting for us at the 10th door behind the eyes. If we but remain there a few minutes, we are withdrawn there with His grace. Your job is only to look with a searching inner eye intently and minutely, with no thought of the body below or outside. If you sit at the door, you receive help in withdrawing the spirit current and opening your inner vision. You should sit in this posture at least a half hour and increase the time to an hour in due course daily, in the morning and in the evening. A few samples from this beautiful collection of letters on meditation practice by Sant Kirpal Singh from the Unpublished Letters, a collection I will return to again and again, as there is much to explore and to share. Coming up next, an excerpt from a satsang discourse by Baba Somanath. Both Baba Somanath and Sant Ram Singh very often in their satsang discourses base their talks upon verses of the Sarbachan Radhasoami poetry of Swamiji Maharaj, which is the case here. This is a brief excerpt from a satsang talk of Baba Somanath. What is the importance of attending satsang? If we go on hearing the truth, then the falsehood and illusion of the outer world that have grown strong within us are gradually rendered powerless. Love and devotion for the Master awakens, and following the Master's instructions, we begin to meditate with accuracy and regularity. This is what we gain from attending satsang. Just to hear the discourse is not satsang. Satsang means to become the form of truth. Many people listen, but when it comes time to apply the Master's words to their lives, they become lazy. No matter how much you may listen to the satsang, until you act on what you have heard, you cannot gain any benefit. Satsang only lasts for an hour. We pass all the rest of our time sitting at home involved in the feverish activity and hubbub of the world. It is only in that 1 hour of satsang that we hear the truth and can devote some time for the upliftment of our soul. But Sant Mat is the path of experiencing the truth. And without practicing the meditation, we cannot see the truth with our own eyes. The following is a discourse from Baba Ram Singh on focusing our attention properly when doing simran. Sant Mat is very much the path of attention. Attention is a means of transportation in the world of within. Attention is everything. Baba Ram Singh. We initially do our simran by the tongue, and we keep doing the meditation by the tongue until gradually the mind begins to do that repetition. And once the mind starts doing that repetition, it becomes ajapa, where the mind automatically starts doing that repetition. So once the mind starts doing the repetition on its own, then you can be assured that the simran that we have been doing is right. And then the withdrawal of the attention of the soul also starts. So when we start doing it with the tongue, and gradually we are keeping the mind associated or connected with this, the mind also starts picking up that simran, and it starts doing that simran regularly. And when it starts doing it automatically, that is known as a japa jap. When the mind starts doing the repetition, then the karmas start getting reduced and the mind starts to become pure, says Baba Ram Singh. Coming up, another discourse from Baba Ram Singh on becoming a gurumukh, a disciple of the Master, instead of a manmukh, a disciple of the dictates of the mind. Baba Ram Singh, also commenting on some verses of Swamiji Maharaj from the Sarbachan Radhasoami poetry, as he often does. So the masters, the saints, look at the jiva soul and his suffering. When they see us suffering, they keep telling us again and again how we should go about our lives so that we are able to overcome that sorrow that we have been in, overcome that pain that we are suffering. Because seeing that pain and seeing that sorrow only, they are trying to awaken us. And they are trying to give us their teaching and give us their explanation that you follow their teachings, overcome that sorrow. And not only that, you will get the joy of going within. And you will also achieve the purpose for which you have been given this life. But we listen to our mind. We do not listen to the masters. The gurumukhs listen to the masters, but the rest of us listen to our mind. And we are therefore manmukhs, and the mind is the devil. The mind is an agent of Kal. And he is never going to allow us to go on this path as being explained by the masters. So we are constantly driven by the mind. Though we listen to the masters, the mind does his advocacy upon us, and then we start following the dictates of the mind. So how do we move? There are only two ways. There is either you are a gurumukh or you are a manmukh. So either you follow the master or you don't follow the master and you follow the mind. So if we want to start following the master, then we have to make a very clear distinction. When the mind starts his advocacy within us, we have to be very clear. No, the master has said this. I'm going to follow the master. You don't listen to the mind. So whatever the mind says, don't listen to the mind and say, I am going to listen to my master and do what he has told. When you are able to discern between these two, you will start following what the master is trying to tell you. Says Baba Ram Singh from a Satsang discourse about becoming a gurumukh, following the instructions of the masters instead of succumbing to the programming that's already there within us in the mind. A kind of Greek chorus that says, woe are you, you are not worthy, you are unable to follow the meditation, it's not going to work. Stay confined in the mental realm and the physical realm. The mind has that kind of gospel that it preaches about not going within, not experiencing. But those are just thoughts that we can shut off, and we can follow the instructions of the masters. Go in and enjoy the bliss of going within during meditation, during Sarit Shabad Yoga, the bhakti of the inner light and sound of God. My name is James Bean. You've been hearing Spiritual Awakening Radio. The website is spiritualawakeningradio.com. Tune in again for another edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio.